All right. So let's give this a try. All right, boys. So we're gonna give this a one more try because apparently just the audio was really, really, really crappy. I don't know if it was one of the two guests that I had last time, but we're gonna try this again. I do have actually a bigger size panel, but you know what? That's good. The more, the better. That means the party is gonna get a little bit more livelier. So that'll be really, really interesting. We'll see how it goes. So, anyways, this is our VFL podcast with the players from Roma, the manager. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves and tell them or tell you guys a little bit about them. So go ahead, Ridic. I guess you could start since you're the manager.
I'm Ridic, manager of Roma. This is my 4th season as manager this FIFA. I'll hand you over to my longest serving player, Itchy.
Yeah, I was going to keep it short and sweet. I'm not really big on selling my name, but yeah, I'm Itchy. Probably been here from the start with Rid. Covering with Tech, probably a few games after, so I'll hand you over to him.
Yeah, I'm Tech, and I'm a striker, but I came here, was it 3 seasons ago, and just man out front and tries scoring all the goals.
And last but not least is Winesy, my first ever buy.
I'm Winesy. I am the midfield maestro in the team.
The Dosser.
Shut up.
Nice. No. No worries. No, so again, just it's kind of frustrating because we had already done this before, but you know what? It's cool because we get to do it again. We get to try this one more time. So, just for those that really don't know or never heard of these podcasts or team podcasts before, usually the main aim of this is just to give everybody that's not in the VFL or that hasn't played competitively a little insight of what this is about. A lot of people think that they put pro clubs with, playing small man, having a good time, having a laugh, and just messing around, correct? But there's also another side of pro clubs that's competitive, can really be competitive, and is really close to the closest thing to playing competitive football as you can get virtually. So I think that I always like to really open up the doors to people that don't know about competitive pro clubs. And I think this is really, really good exposure, not only for pro clubs, but players that are really dedicated to wanting to play competitively. And I think that it's just good exposure for pro clubs itself. So I always try to do a VFL podcast for the team that I'm playing. And normally I usually just try to go out and introduce the team. So really quick, Ridic, I really wanted to try and get your I guess just your insight as far as your history as a manager. How did that come to be? Where did this start, and where did the journey begin, man?
Basically, I started FIFA 18 as a co-manager. I spent all of FIFA 18 playing under a guy called XI Delta. Learned a hell of a lot off of him, and at the end of it, we decided we were splitting up as a team. I still wanted to be part of management, so I took my own team. Started off with SDI bar before the team picks, and they got picked by somebody else. And when it come around to my turn, I chose CA Osasuna. We spent 3 seasons at Osasuna. The first season we failed to get promoted, ended up in playoffs. Second season we actually went up second, and up until the last night and the last game we finished our game before them, so we'd won our game. They were losing, but they ended up grabbing a late 2-1 win to win the title, so we ended up runners up. And then last season was our first season in higher tier Spain, and we ended up 6th. Only team to beat Bilbao, who won the league as well.
Yeah.
And Bilbao haven't lost in the league this season either.
Yeah, they're on a tear actually. After we tried it yesterday, I kind of did a little bit of research, and they're on a tear, and I know a few of the players on that team, and they're doing well. So, no, that I remember when I was watching them play last season. Yeah, I do remember Osasuna, really creeping up on just kind of under the radar, if you could say. So that kind of grabbed my attention because at that point I was in France after a really torrid time at Norwich, and I didn't know what was going to happen. Yep. Yeah, I remember.
You played us a lot when you was at Kane in friendlies,
warm-ups.
warm-ups.
Yeah, I remember that. So again, I just kept my eye out, just in general, thinking about where can I go, what can I do, and I do remember seeing Osasuna doing well. And then after the season was over, I did see the thread up for Roma, and then I saw that a lot of you guys had moved over, so that really caught my eye. No, but that's really interesting, man. So you guys have been pretty much together. So the team itself, you have a core of players that have been playing
I've had
together.
the same core now for 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
This is our 4th. I think it's our 4th season together.
Yeah. So it's a really good combination of players, but that are more importantly just building a chemistry. And that's that's another thing too that I wanted to touch on, that a lot of people believe that it's just talent, or just skillful players, right? And yes, I know it's just a video game, but this is why I really do love pro clubs, because it can become almost like football in real life, where you have to have chemistry, you have to have that bond, and you have to have that trust in who you're playing or who you're playing with, as far as the positioning, their playing style, the chemistry that can come from that. It's just not just bring in a skiller, a dribbler and then a finisher and then a cam and then that's it. It's kickback. No, it's gotta be like a team, like real football, where you have to have a solid defense, you have to have a leader in the back, you have to have a creative midfielder, you have to have a striker, and as a whole the team has to be as one. And I think that's where having a core group, and the more you play with one another and the longer you play consistently on the same team, that builds up the chemistry. So I think that's really a good way of doing it. It's just
it does.
Sometimes playing competitively in the VFL, sometimes that doesn't really happen, because a lot of players do tend to play one season and then they jump off and they just feel like, this is not what it is, or this is not what they promised me, and it just, there's not a lot of patience, and sometimes that can really backfire. Go ahead.
A lot of the teams on VFL are always, not all of them, but you find some teams that are full of a team of individuals who are just there to kind of bounce, get the name out, get into Champions League, win trophy points. Is that what they're still called?
Yeah.
But
It's just the perks.
Trophy points.
Just the perks of coming with winning.
Yeah, get their stats up as well.
Pretty much. And I get it, because you come to play, and it's one of those things that's really hard, because you come to play and have fun, right? But at the same time, there's people that come to be competitive as well, because if you're going to play for fun, you might as well just go play with your friends and do small man. But if you're really here to play competitively and be part of a really solid team in a group, then this is for you. Definitely, this is what you want to be a part of. But there are the players that still have that mentality where they want to be the center of attention. They want to be the team. They just want to get goals. They want to get the stats to get all the perks, and it's kind of defeats the purpose. It's almost, and we say it, people that play, you have your egos, you have your divas, your stars, and sometimes it really ruins the game. I think that's something that we need to.
I think getting into VFLs, I wouldn't even say it's easy, because if you look at trialing thread, a lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people get shunned on by like number of likes, number of messages, number of trophy points. Again, like there's some hidden gems on VFL, and you get shunned for the sake of someone who has 200 odd trophy points, won the league back in season 20 with FIFA 17, and it's just, I think that's like when we started off at Osasuna in what I can't remember the season, but scraping literally we smashed the playoffs, I think, but we lost narrowly. But that was a team full of, no disrespect, people I've nearly never heard of other than Rid and probably Tech, and I was just a bit like, wow, okay, never heard of any of these people on VFL. Then
I'll go for attitude over ability. 100% attitude over ability.
Yeah.
You could be the best player in the world, but you could have a stinking attitude. You could
It's
be
never gonna work. Yeah.
a really good attitude, but your ability, you can improve your ability, you can't improve your attitude.
Yeah,
That's what
that
you
actually
pick
gets
me.
you better. Like people playing around you play better as well.
Yeah.
My biggest thing in game is no negativity, because it makes me nervous. If I'm nervous, I can't lead the team.
Yeah.
Personal
If I'm
knowledge.
agitated, I can't lead.
Especially the back line, which is it's a key component in all of the team, honestly, because if the back line is crumbling and is shaky, well then guess what? Then that means the midfielder has to work double, to try to cover, and at the same time it puts your goalkeeper in a really shitty situation as well. So it's very crucial.
Definitely.
So.
I think finally now, I don't know if Rid agree with me, I think we've got a solid core of a team. Like, I'm not saying we never used to, but we've always had like one position in the team where someone's jumping in and out. I know that sounds hypocritical.
It's a bit more settled now.
My availability is not the...
You're always going to have that, though. I think you're always going to have players that... I mean, I've seen it many a time that will come in and for some reason they're just not liking it. Whether it's because they're not getting the results, whether because they're not getting playing time, or ultimately because it's maybe boring. And let's be honest. I think Ridic touched on this last time we were talking on this. That you need to have balance, because if you play this game too much, you can burn yourself out, and sometimes people just burn themselves out.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the team. You can be on a great team, and this is the part where it's just a game. When you play a game too much, you can burn yourself out, and it can cause you to just like really force yourself to want to show up and play, and that's not what you want. You want people to really be happy to want to come and play and really want to come and do their job, and after that, then hey, well, I'm done. We can go back to hanging out and shooting the shit.
The way I look at it is just the more relaxed they are, the better I'm going to get out of them. The more I'm going to get out of them.
As a team, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as a team. Yeah.
And again, and this is what I feel like. I'm literally feel like I'm repeating myself. And this is one of the things that I really, really do enjoy. And a lot of people, I've gotten a few messages, people asking, "Hey man, it seems like everybody's really relaxed. Everybody's really, really calm. Even when we go down." In the video that I just released in the game against the Swallow, where the ref, I think that was the only time that everybody was just like, everybody was pissed. The ref, I've never been in a game in my life competitively where we've gotten so many yellows. I've never seen that, seriously. And where the ref was one-sided. It was unreal. But you could hear it though. You can hear it in the audio. Everybody was like pissed. But other than that, whether we win, lose, draw, or we concede a really shitty goal, which we have conceded we've been unlucky with some really crappy goals. It's more people will get really quiet in comparison with other teams that I've been in. Everybody immediately will blame a defender, will blame somebody, the goalkeeper, you name it. After the game's over, well, so and so should have put this chance away. The striker, kind of lost it right there, or the goalkeeper did this, and it's very different with Roma, and that's one of the things that after I trialed immediately called my attention. I was like, look, this there's something here, So that's definitely, I think that goes to what you were trying to instill into the team, and you're trying to bring as a core, because you said it yourself. If everybody is relaxed, whether you win, lose, or draw, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. This happens. This happens whether you're playing real football or just playing a virtual game. A video game. It's gonna happen. Things are gonna go wrong.
Definitely.
So, and the faster you accept that, the faster you'll be able to move on. And you know what? Hey, just take it on the chin and move on.
I think another thing we have as well, we don't let past games dwell on us. For example, if you look at the Fiorentina game, a perfect example of going 2-0 up, then losing, then you getting all the shit on video, but ignoring all that. The game after, it was just another day.
Yeah.
Like, we even joked in the game, like, what happened yesterday. Like, we don't forget about it, because if we won that game, we would have been on what, 7-8 game win streak or something like that.
Yeah.
So
it would have been a perfect weekend.
I think it
would have been a perfect weekend.
I think another thing that Rid's drilled into the team is literally it's just positivity throughout. Like, no matter what, we could get thumped 8-0 one day, the day after we could scrape a 1-0 win, but because we got that win, that's the main thing. And I think that's another thing that you don't really find at many teams on the VFL.
Yeah. No, definitely. I definitely agree.
Yeah, definitely.
So, right on. So one of the things, so I did find out too that at Osasuna you guys had European football, man, and you guys left. Now a lot of other managers would be like, nah, screw that. We earned European football. We're gonna stay and see this out. So I guess my question is,
bad decisions.
Yeah. Besides wanting to try a new league or maybe a bigger name club, what was the reasoning behind that?
We did a vote end of the season. I said to the team, ideally I want to play in Italy. I've been offered a big name club. I've not played in Italy on VFL. I'm not making a decision on my own. We're a team. We've all got to be happy where we're playing, and the best part of the squad wanted to give the Italian league a go, so that's what we did.
Yeah. Okay. It was pretty tough though, right? Leaving Europa.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm confident
Painful.
in the team that we'll get it this season.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
From what I've seen and from what
Yeah,
people
we'll
have
definitely
seen,
have a good
man,
shout.
a lot of people do like what the team is doing, and good or bad. Obviously, the bad comments are usually from the rivals, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's just the way it is. People see the game differently, and I guess that's the beauty of it, right? Everybody's always going to have, this is the way I see it. Well, this is the way I see it, and that's why you can have really proper discussions, I think. So no, I do.
I think this Serie A, go on.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think this Serie A is like a very strong league as well, especially this season
is.
with the teams in
Yeah,
it.
it's loads of good teams.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and
It's not
you know
like
what? It's funny
half
too
the table's
because you know what? I will admit I have been once in a while you do get taken by names, by what they've done in the past, and you know what? It's one of those things I'm slowly starting to move that what you've done in the past counts for nothing. And the teams that I probably starting the season, at the beginning of the season, I would be like, oh man, we got to watch out for for so and so or for this team. But the teams that you don't see or that you don't feel like any heat from are the ones that give you trouble. Like to me right now, honestly, if the season were to end right now, I would say the one that hurt the most, I don't know why, is the Spal game.
Yeah, the Spal game is pretty good.
You know what I mean? And yeah, they were a decent team. I would look at the video a few times, but I feel like we should have won that game. Now there was another team that they're not doing too hot in the table, but we got a draw out of that one, and that was probably my first one. I think.
Salernitana.
Yeah, that one. Where we should have buried them, man, and we didn't.
Fair play to their keeper though, because he
he did. He
was
did.
on fire.
He had a hell of a game, and I remember that. But those are the games that you would think going into them, on paper, man, we definitely should be blowing these teams away, and that's not what ended up happening. So it's one of those things where you have your teams that are established or on paper they're really strong, powerful teams, but then you have your other teams that are just going to come in under the radar and all of a sudden get a few wins here and there and kind of rock the table a little bit and just kind of make it more interesting instead of having a clear favorite and they run away with the league, which can kind of get boring. And I've seen that happen when I played in France, in Germany. I've even seen it in the Prem, or even in Spain. But so far this season, I have to say that in Italy, it's been solid, man. Like throughout the table, I would have to say like 1 through 5, it's a really, really solid team. And I could probably throw us in the mix again if and when we get our shit together. And I think we're going to touch on this a little bit here shortly, but I think that the biggest thing is if we can keep going with how we play and consistently play at our well, not our full potential, but at a decent rate, I think we could definitely be part of the top. So I guess my next question is going into the season after you making that change, or you say, what, we're going to Italy, everybody's moving. What was your expectations going into? I mean, you never played, you've never managed. What was your going into this season?
To be honest, I looked at the league and I looked at the teams, and there's 9 or 10 teams in the league that are good standard. So for me, anywhere in the top 10 is good. Obvious aim's European football. We're more than capable of it, but you can't take that for granted. There's going to be games where you're going to have to dig in, you're going to have to play dirty, and you're going to have to counter. And we've done that.
Yeah.
We're up there. We're in that mix. We've got 4 games left. We take it one game at a time. You can only beat the team that's in front of you. You can only play the team that's in front of you.
Definitely. No, and that's a good
Baby
mentality
steps
to
as
have.
well, though.
What was that?
Baby steps as well. Cause a lot of teams, like the past teams I've played for, best example is you have one season, you don't get what you aim for, and it's kind of shit. Like, I wouldn't say give up, but a lot of teams get demotivated. Probably
yeah.
the best way to describe it.
I've seen teams fold, like, and I'm not joking. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a team fold in one weekend. So Friday, one game, Saturday, two games. By Sunday, team's done. Nobody wants to play. Oh, I'm busy now. All of a sudden, they're busy, or you know what? Hey, I'm done. I want to be sold. I want to be released. It just, again, that defeats the purpose, man. And a lot of those guys are either new or they're at the other side of the spectrum. They're really egotistical. They're considered, quote unquote, a big name, so they feel like, this is beneath me, kind of stuff. This is not for me. I should be at a better team. Again, it kind of kills the game as well, because for me, and this is probably one of my biggest achievements is, you go into a team and you're like, man, you really had a poor start, but you have an amazing finish. So for me, my biggest achievement is when I was at OGC Nice in France, and me and Maiko, we managed to save a team from relegation. That to me was awesome, because the whole team was already pretty much doomed for, like, the admin said, hey, you know what, help me. This team is pretty much at the end. I just need somebody to finish the season. I managed to just scrape up a group of players. And we did it. In fact, one of them is in here. I totally forgot. He's actually in here, so he knows what that's like. To me, that's a big achievement, because it shows that, hey, you know what? Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, nobody wants to show up. Oh, man, I'm on the last place team, and we're probably gonna get smacked around. But if you show fight, it's possible. It is possible. So that's
definitely.
That's something that really I really do get attracted to. And yes, I really want to be at the other end of the table, where I'm trying to challenge for things and playing in European games and shit like that. But that's also pretty cool too. And that's again what I'm talking about, when it can be like real football. You try to
touching on that. Last season, how many teams would you know that lost their first weekend's worth of games?
Yeah, you told me
on a Sunday night. Sunday night still had 10 players. 10, 11 players in the party.
Then we got European football.
10 half 10. Yeah, that's the season we got European football with Osasuna.
Yeah.
It's team spirit.
First weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
First weekend we did terrible, but carried on, pushed through it, and then we ended up getting European football, so came out well in the end with the hard work put in, to be fair.
It goes to show you too that it's not over until it's over. Until the season's over, you never know, and anything could happen. Yeah, most of the time, some teams will run away with it, but they'll drop points, or they'll draw. Somebody will miss a game, somebody lags out, and they just overturn it and they drop points. So it is possible, absolutely. But a lot of players do tend to just call it quits after the first bump on the road, and they're just like, hey, this is it for me. So yeah, so I guess the next question I wanted to ask too, so far, so your expectations were what you said. So far, how would you say the season's gone? What's been your biggest win and biggest loss? And I already know what they are.
For me?
Yeah.
For me, the biggest win was Cup win against Milan. We played them on the Sunday and they beat us 3-0. On the Wednesday, we kept it tight. Yeah. We closed them out, and then we got a winner.
Yeah.
Halfway bloody left back. Jesus.
Very unlucky that game, and I still say it, that was so undeserved, because a lot of people see the score and you're like, oh yeah, you got spanked, you guys got whooped, but that's not what really happened. If you really look at the game, and for those that played, it was a lot more even, so it really did hurt, and I'm so happy that we ended up well, you guys, I watched, but you guys got the result. Even though it was 1-0, it's still, you got to see the game for what it really is, which was two even teams going at it, and we got the winning goal. And I think that's what pretty much happened in the first game. But it just, very, very unlucky. What about this? It just sucks even thinking about it. What was the worst loss?
For me, Fiorentina.
Yeah,
we threw that game away.
Yeah.
We were 2-0 up, and we let them back into the game. We should have pressed harder.
Even though
with a team like that, you can't let them back in.
Even though their players would say that they fully deserve it, so they felt like they
second half, Second half, that opened us up. First half, we was a better team. First half.
Yeah. No, again, that goes to with what I was saying. Everybody has their own opinion of of the game and how they see it, and that's fine. And what I was saying before too is that the good thing for us and them is we have a chance to do it again. You know, and we'll see.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? So we're either going to correct the mistakes that happen and we'll get the job done and we'll go into the semis, or, you know, can they do it again? Can they show, you know, what they did in the first game? So that's the beauty of it too, is that you always get a chance to kind of get your payback. I clearly believe that we're unlucky and we created our own mistakes and they just capitalized. Which is it's not that it's easy, because sometimes you need to have the skill to recognize, you know,
We were
hey,
a clinical team.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, they
clinical
were.
team. I didn't play the game, but I saw the video, and they were a clinical team. And
they were there
I'm
when
not
they
here
needed to
talk
be.
shit, but for a team to come in and say they smashed you, blah 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 blah. If they smashed you, we wouldn't have been 2-0 up. It's a game of two halves.
Yeah.
We won the first one, they won the second. If it was an extra 90 minutes, you don't know what could have happened. Do you know what I mean?
No, and it's funny too, because looking at the game, they got the third goal, and I think Tech had one. I don't remember who the other one is. That if any of those two real clear chances go in, it's an even game again. And this is before they scored the fourth goal, because the fourth goal was literally right at the end, and that was just kind of just the nail in the coffin. But I think that it just still was an even game. But because we had the two goal lead, you would think that would probably be game over if we were able to stay focused and learn how to clean up shop. But you know what? It just goes to show that anything could happen. So, like I said, the good thing is that we have a chance to do it all over again, man. And I'm really excited. Even though I'm not gonna be playing, you best believe I'm gonna be cheering you boys on, and, you know, hopefully we get the result, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Ian. I think in it Rich and Tony play for Fiorentina.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So Tony
Rich and Big Tone. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same as us. They usually carry the same core group of players pretty much everywhere they go. I've noticed Big Tone on VFL since I started, and Tony's Peterborough, like playing against him with Peterborough, Madrid, Technos, Rich, like they're pretty much a mirror image of us. They bring a core group of players everywhere they go. So the cup game will be vengeance.
No, it's gonna be a good one, man. And like I said, don't let that score fool you, because you would think, oh man, it's like 4-2. It definitely wasn't that. It was a really good game, and it's the same as the Milan game. It was just a game of back and forth, and we made some mistakes. They capitalized, and that was the difference ultimately. So again, I just hope that the next one it's a little bit more even, and, you know, may the best team win. So I guess just to wrap this up, because we're already on 30 minutes. God damn, time flies when you're having fun, right? So just to wrap this up, so moving forward, I know we've already talked about moving on to the next season once this is over. What are your aims? What do you want to try to achieve? What is the biggest thing that you would want to try to improve on from this season?
European football.
Champions League.
If we can get Europa this season, Champions League next.
As far as
definitely.
And as far as like performances, like, you know, as far as like maybe being more consistent, you know, strengthening certain areas.
Be a bit more
It's very hard to be
consistent.
consistent on FIFA, and if you can master it, then you'll steamroll. But we just, need to be more consistent in games, I'd say. Like, we can have good games and we can just absolutely bottle in the next one.
They may have
But,
bad games.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably from what I've seen. I think consistency is always hard to do, but it is doable. Just a very few teams.
We're close to getting it. We are close to getting it. There's just a few little.
And you got to remember it's a video game as well.
Yeah,
There's a
absolutely.
few little things we can tweak to improve.
Yeah.
100%, and we'll work on that in the off season.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another
100%.
thing too that I look forward to, is just the build up, and just the because there is tactics. Again, for those that don't know and don't play competitively, there is tactics to it. It's not just going out there and just, let me just whip it in there and somebody big go in for a cross. No, there's actually tactics to this, and there is a build up to it, and there is a style. Each team does have an identity. It's just not, they just, like I said, just kind of playing for fun. A lot of teams do really take pride in building a team with certain players, certain characteristics. Some managers will specifically ask their players to play a certain height, a certain build, because it will suit what they're trying to play. And yes, it is a game, But if this game wasn't broken, it probably would even be better, because if you could do that, you know, if you can ask your players to play a certain height and style, it would just make the game more livelier. So I think, like, moving forward, it is a good thing. And for those that are hearing this and, like I said, that don't know about it, it's a really good thing that I recommend you guys trying. And you know, Ultimate Teams isn't everything. Believe me, it's not. And if you really, you know,
Ultimate Team's just a slight piece of the gym.
Pro Club it's where it's at. So yeah. So anyways, guys, that is it. I don't want to go on, because I usually try to keep this under 25, but we are already past 30, so it's been a good one, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll probably want to try it again, man. I know me and Ridic have been talking about trying to do another one maybe at the end of the season, but well, I guess that's still under works. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, cheers. It's good.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, boys. We'll see you.
In a bit, lads.